because it's all like raised and bruised.
So you're a lumberjack now? Is that
I'm a
your
lumberjack
side gig?
now. I'm adding it to the resume. It's my intention to have, by the time I die, as many random jobs mastered. Just as like, an aside.
Axe,
Just so
chainsaw,
that
or
somebody
both?
at my wake has to read it for a full 32 minutes. He was also a lumberjack, an accomplished ice sculptor. Remember that when that happened for 2 weeks? All right. He also was, just go through the list, award-winning number 1% podcaster.
Talking about putting the audience to sleep. There's a great way. List all your accomplishments. That was another fun way people introduce themselves at this lovely event we've been speaking about.
Grotesque. Were any of them lumberjacks?
No, nobody was a lumberjack.
Whether professionally or just
wrong conference. No. I actually formerly was a lumberjack. I up in your neck of the woods in Jersey, cleared out my whole backyard. Beautiful.
My high school mascot is a lumberjack. This big bearded dude with a double-bladed axe. We were the Canucks, which is a Canadian slur for mountain men.
Why is it? Wait,
it's not happening in North Plainfield, New Jersey. What?
A Canuck is a lumberjack?
It's like a Canadian woodsman.
But the Vancouver Canucks, isn't their logo like a fish?
No.
We got it. You know what? We should talk about business. But I'm going to look this up.
Yeah, you look it up.
Let's do it. Welcome back to The Ether, the show that disrupts the way you think about running your business. Join me, Brandon, and my co-host, Sean Delaney, the creator of What If, on today's episode. Our goal is to provide context around what we talk about so you have the clarity to cut through the noise and the confidence to grow and run a truly harmonious business. Let's jump in and take the next step to achieving business freedom. Business freedom is cool, but derogatory terms are also cool. If you heard the intro, a Canuck is a derogatory term towards Canadians. And yes, it is a fish. The logo of the Vancouver Canucks is a C with a little fish head. So now you know.
What are you talking about? All right. So first of all, listen, I think we insulted enough people in the intro.
We love Canadians, though.
What's that?
I said we love Canadians.
I love Canada in the way that any big brother loves their little brother.
Okay, now you're starting fights.
We love them. Kidding. I'm kidding. Is it obvious?
We love Canadians. We love Canada. We love all the things. We love Big Fish and Canucks, however you want to be referred to.
That's all cool. People.
But more importantly, we do love all people. And you know what we want to talk about today?
What do we want to talk about today?
We want to talk about people. We want to talk about our employees and building a culture. Here's the title. You're going to love this. How to build a culture of employees who never want to leave.
Oh, love it.
We're talking about home.
Are you people still here? Don't you have homes? Yes.
Yes. There's two ways to do this. There's the chain your employees to their desk and make it their home, make them never leave. Or there's give them the freedom to come and go, but make them passionate about what they're doing. There might be a few more examples, but we're going to stick to those two very binary options today.
I guess there are people who call Rikers Island home. I guess that's, so
how have we not been canceled yet?
We're not going to chain people to their desks. Yes, this is a great topic. So home, that we're talking about human resource management. Gross. Could we make them sound more like cattle? Anybody up for that? So it's not human resource management. We call it home. Humans optimized in a meaningful environment. In the name says it all. We want the human beings that we're playing with in delivering value to our customers. We want those people, our teammates, our colleagues. We want these people optimized. Everybody working at peak performance with all the tools, resources, and clarity and direction and support. We want all of that hyper-optimized state in a meaningful environment, meaning this place means something to me. I don't just check out. I'm not watching the clock saying, please, 5 o'clock, get here. I want to be here. I'm looking up at the clock going, oh my gosh, it's 6:30 and I'm still here. I didn't even realize. this place means something to me. Not just that it's fun and a cool place to hang out, because we've seen businesses like that too, where nothing's getting done. Of course, these people like it here. You have a full stocked pantry and kitchenette, and you start serving beer at 4:30 on a Friday. Now, of course, nobody's going home. No work's getting done, but nobody's going home. That's not what we mean. A meaningful environment means I come here because I believe so much in our mission. It doesn't feel like work, hammering something out to deliver that value to those people. This place means something to me, and I understand what my job is and how my job contributes to us delivering value to the people that I'm here to serve. That's powerful. That's what we are talking about when we talk about home.
Yeah,
Yes.
I love it. And it's funny because a lot of people think when you want to build a culture of employees who never want to leave, you have to be like Google and Facebook and, have these cafeterias and pool tables and, free to work from wherever. A funny story though, I heard this a couple weeks ago. There's a hedge fund in Austin, and they hire a person to go out and walk through the city of Austin in the middle of the day during the week, and they see how many people are working, just laying out and sunbathing in a park. And they go up and ask them, they say, what company do you work for? Just out of curiosity. They tell them if it's a publicly traded company, they go back to their office, they report to the team, they short that stock, and they have a 94% accuracy rate just by seeing all of these work from home people who are actually not contributing because they believe in this culture of freedom, which is not the opposite of the freedom that we're talking about. But I just think that's funny because that's really not effective. And that's also not what we're advocating for here.
No, not at all. And just demanding people's attendance then. And we're going to watch you now, make sure you're not going and sunbathing somewhere or taking a nap in your car. I had a friend who used to do that. We want to make sure that if you're invigorated by your environment, it doesn't need a pool table or anything else. I'm here in this room alone, and frequently my wife will have to come and get me to remind me to stop working because it means something to me. I'm energized by it. Even when something's not going great and we have to tackle some issue, I'm invigorated by it. And so you don't have to police me and make sure that I'm chained to my desk because I want to be here and I want to do the work. And I get enjoyment from doing that. And it is possible to do that anywhere with any company doing almost any job. I say almost any job because pictures of dirty jobs with Mike Rowe jumped into my head saying some that are it's a pretty uphill battle. But that's the mission as a leader. If you want people who are going to be walking on water for you, are jazzed up, are walking through walls, are staying here, going the extra mile, and building the culture that you want and maintaining the culture that we want. Well, I know we're going to get into that too. So how would anybody know what kinds of questions? How does a Brandon show up and understand a business and what is going on vis-a-vis their people?
Well, I think just based on what other people post on the internet, I think we're supposed to tell people the exact steps to build a culture, and we should tell them the KPIs to measure, and we shouldn't ask any questions about their business. And we should basically just say, if you do these 3 things, you'll have $1 billion company. I don't know. Should we do that? Or should we maybe say, we're going to give you 5 questions to ask yourself and your company? That's what I do. Answer your question. And then you can build this culture of home in your organization. I like that plan, but we can go either way.
You're smart, Brandon. Not like people say. I love this. Let's do the questions thing.
Let's do it. We got 5 questions. We're going to help you just totally revolutionize your culture, your home, your people, and please stop calling your humans resources. Just a pet peeve of mine. Anyway, question number 1, Sean. We got 5 questions at home.
5 questions.
Does our organization have the right people and skills to do its work? That seems like a pretty basic question.
So we start here. It is a very basic question, but it's the first question we ask analyzing any business when we're talking about their people, because it's a skill set. I love it when the owners of a business or the CEO or however you want to describe them says, "Oh, I love my people. We're like a family here." Well, I've seen plenty of families that are pretty dysfunctional who couldn't collectively get themselves into or out of any situation.
Should we talk about our in-laws? I think that's another episode. Let's
Well,
not talk about that.
I
You
love
don't
mine.
want to be a family.
No, but I love mine. But many families are not built to execute in a highly precise way, unless there's the flying Walendas, right? Unless they're a family act. The Partridge Family, okay, they can execute, but we're talking about so when they say I love my people, I love them, okay, but do they have the skills? Well, no, certainly not him. I mean, he's my cousin. I kind of had to hire him because my wife made me. Doesn't count. So I'm looking at right now, do we have the skill set here? Because that can be from your people, or you can outsource it too. So I want to know, to effectuate the mission that you're doing, do we have the skills we need? Because sometimes right off the bat, then the owner will say, you know, like what kind of skills? Yeah, okay, we're not. Or when they have one skill replicated over 20 people. Oh yeah, we're all out of the box thinkers because that's what we love. Okay, so you got 20 out of the box thinkers. Yes. Anybody that can do the other 15 skills that you need in order to deliver on your mission. Yeah, I don't know, but we managed to get there creatively, and we change the process every day, and we're flying by the seat of our pants. But man, we're a great team, and we have each other's back when we all inevitably are falling down and missing the mark. That doesn't sound, it sounds like we're all treading water together, is what that sounds like to me. So
You're
that's
giving me PTSD from a client meeting this week. Stop it. That's enough.
Well, so it happens, and we see these patterns, and as soon as we see it, as soon as we get the scores, we go, oh, I know what this conversation is going to be. I know what it is. Because with these 5 questions, we can dial it in pretty close. And now you have these questions, people listening at home. So what's the next one?
Question number 2. Does our culture drive behaviors that match our core values?
A lot in there. A lot in there. We always start with core values. For anybody who's listened to us at any length of time, it always comes up. So here we're trying to get at, I'm not asking if you like the culture. And I'm not asking about culture independent of results. So, or a culture misaligned with the core values. We see this far too frequently too, where people say, yeah, my core values are honesty and teamwork, and then they go through it. It's a very nice list, very well-meaning words, and then you see the exact opposite in the culture. The culture is driving itself. It metastasized into whatever it is, and the owner either isn't there frequently or wrote the core values themselves. They're what they believe, or God help us, a consultant wrote it for them. It's what they believe, but they didn't hire to it, and they don't incentivize the behavior. And so the culture has now just become an amalgamation of the personalities there, and they might even be incented to act in ways that are counter to what's up on the wall. So when an owner says, yeah, teamwork, absolutely, okay, and how are you rating people at the end of the year? We wouldn't ask these questions back to back, but let's just assume then we eventually get to that question. How are you rating people? Oh, we've got some KPIs, and then the top 2 people on the team get this bonus, and then the next several get this bonus, and then these people, they don't get anything because they didn't hit it. And we're accountability. Whoa, wait. So you're telling me that Brandon has been incentivized in this teamwork with this esprit de corps? He's incentivized to cut me out at the knees on these projects as we work together as a team. Oh no, I didn't say that. No, but that's what you're incentivizing, and I bet I find it. I bet I find that happening there somewhere. And then what happens is, because that's not being policed, people see Brandon always getting the best bonus, and they do one of 2 things. They go, well, I hate it, but hey, I got to eat, and I got kids who need braces. I'm going to also do it. And now we're building that culture of everybody's backstabbing and not working together harmoniously. Or they go, well, that's just not me, and I don't like it. I'm going to leave. which then you have to replace that role, and that little role is going to just keep churning until all those people eventually are randomly, because you're not hiring with any kind of eye towards this, you will randomly backfill all those people who left because they didn't like the culture. And now you've got 20 employees and every single one of them believes in that. And you're saying, man, I'm going to rewrite these core values to be a little harsher around, darn it, I really want you to guys act like a team. Okay, good luck now, because there's one of you and 20 of them. And now we have a real mess to unwind, because the culture, we let the inmates run the asylum here. It wasn't a cultivated culture. Tied to core values. So what I'm saying is, does your culture reinforce those? We want the culture to self-police, and people self-select out. We want that kind of esprit de corps where it's tied to the core values, which you set, that are in harmony with your mission and your vision and the constituents that you're trying to serve. Makes sense? Yes, it does. Question number 3.
Question number 3.
Question number C.
Oh, you're hurting me with this. Anyway, do we regularly survey our employees to determine employee satisfaction?
Oh, our people love us here. Do they? Yes. We hire lots of them. Why? Because they're leaving all the time. Why did they leave? I don't know. Oh, we just had this one recently where they said, why? That's not why people are leaving. Why are they leaving? Well, I think it's because. What do you mean you think it's because? You don't know why they're leaving? No. How would I know that? You didn't ask? What do I care? If they're not loyal to me, go. Good riddance. Get out. All these people have axes to grind. It's them, not me. It's them. Really? First of all, let's ask them. And is it the same axe they're grinding? Yeah, all these people always complain. They get no direction around here. When it's clear, these processes that I change on a whim constantly every day, with a lifespan of about 72 hours, they should just follow those. Okay. And all these people leave because they say they're not getting clear direction, when I'm being very clear that there is no direction. So I don't know why they're leaving. So we're going to ask them. But that is in arrears. That's too late. That's a lagging indicator. That's like measuring customer satisfaction by your churn rate. That's no way to do that. So we're going to ask them, how do they feel? And what would they like here to be optimized? Well, I don't need to ask them what they want. They're going to want more breaks. They're going to want free popcorn, and they're going to want a whole bunch of other entitlement things. Not necessarily. And if they do ask for that, then we refine the question and say, no, what we're really asking you is, what would help you? I'm not asking what would make this a more fun work environment. I might ask that. We would ask that, because contextually that would make sense with the people that we hire.
Well, that's one of our core values too. So it would be in line with a question we should ask.
Absolutely. But I'm saying, for most people, that's not the question we're asking. The question we're asking, or the intent of the question, so you have to refine it this way, is to ask your people, what things, support, resources do you need in order to do your job better, in order to serve these people better? What kinds of things do we need? And if you ask the right question into the right culture, you will get gold back. And you can say, that is a better process. That is a better procedure. We do all need that resource. We do all need that kind of direction. We do all need those Monday morning stand-up meetings. Whatever the thing is, they will ask. You will ask, and they will tell you. And it will be great. Don't try to figure it out alone. Survey them. There's no harm in that. There's no promises that everything you ask for. My daughter's on student council at her school now. She made all kinds of promises to get the job. I'm going to make sure that
Fridays, free pizza in the lunchroom.
Yeah, we're all getting pony rides at recess. I don't know. I'm a kid, and I'm promising other kids things. It's not what we're. So, because we surveyed all the students, and sure, and there's kindergartners weighing in, and so a unicorn was on the list, and you made it more reasonable to say a pony. It's not happening. None of these things are happening. So,
your politician in the making.
Just because you ask doesn't mean that you have to deliver on whatever they come back with. Okay. So
Oh, I
But
love
this
it.
question also lets us these are all windows into the entrepreneur's mind. Yes, I asked them, and everything I asked them, they ask that everything. Every time I ask them anything they ask for, I give them. That's not leadership either. That's like one extreme. The other extreme is, why would I ask those people anything? They work for me. Oh, God help us. Let's go to the other extreme. Let's work with the other extreme and at least dial them back. But these people, there's two very dramatic ways to think about that. And that's what we're talking about there with that question.
That's the conversation I had. One of the conversations I had this week was, no, we don't ask them for feedback. We tell them what to do. If they don't do it, we immediately fire them. And our turnover rate's pretty high, but we know we just want people to come in here and do what we tell them to do. I'm like,
because it's all of those people and it's their fault.
Yes, that's what they said. And then when they left, they gave 3 examples of when people had left recently, and it was their fault. It was all on them. They left for these stupid reasons. And I was like, I don't think I'm going to ask you the rest of the questions in home. I think I got what I need here. Pretty clear.
We got it. And it was as predicted, right where we said the problem would be. We found it right where it was. Now we're going to tell them exactly how to fix it. They'll either get it or they won't get it. But at some point, you have to have that breakthrough when it's everybody else's problem. Okay.
Yeah, good luck with that. Anyway, so assuming that's not you and you do want to help improve the people in your culture.
You wouldn't be listening if it were.
No. We would ask you this 4th question. We would say, does our leadership team encourage and assist our employees in developing their job skills so they can advance their careers? I love this question because everybody else hates it. It's my favorite.
What do they hate about it?
They're like, what do you mean so they can advance in their career skills? They're just, I pay them. Like, what else? I'm like, no. I mean, this is my personal belief. I'm sure you echo this too, but I always viewed when I was hiring people, if I'm not helping them develop as a human being, both personally and professionally, to do better in their career, I'm actually not doing my job as a true leader. It's not about just getting the work done. It's about building a human being. So are you helping them do that? Is that part of your culture? How do you feel about that?
You will attract better employees if you want people thinking about their career. They're going to think about their career. And their future is either with you or outside those walls. And so if they're a good employee, you want to do the things to have them be here. Well, what are those kinds of things? Well, we could give them free popcorn. Okay. But we could give them candy bars. Even better. We could give them candy bars and free sodas. That doesn't make them a better employee. That makes them
We're killing them. Why are we killing these people?
Making them fat. And so I want to make them happy, but in a way that is self-serving, in the sense that it's in service of the company and its mission. And so one of the ways I can make them happy is to say, your future is here and you will get opportunities for growth, because I want these people to learn more. I want their skills to increase because I want to move them up and give them more responsibility. And so it's incumbent upon me to say, you have this set of skills today. We are going to refine those, improve them, and add to them. Does that sound like something you want? No, I want to sit here and pull this lever and be left alone. Maybe that works for our culture. Maybe it doesn't, but the opportunity is there. And as a leader, I'm going to encourage you, because it's not just that. I've seen that too, where, what do you mean? We have 15 different courses that they can take. They're all on our IntraWebs site, and they can take those courses and improve their skills. And some of them are even 2-week-long courses. Great. And how many has Brandon taken in the last 6 months? Well, he's way too busy to do that. I mean, I can't have them sitting around taking courses all day. So we haven't really given them the opportunity because we're overworking them. Well, I need the job done today. There's a balance there. Because you can go the other way too, where, gosh, we haven't seen Brandon around here in a while. Well, he's at another 6-week leadership training course. I think he's tapped out on that. I think he's got a lot of leadership skills. And this is when you see marketers at marketing conferences learning more about marketing from each other. This incestuous little comfort zone that we have here. And that's not what we need either. Now, if your fear is, I could spend a lot of money training people and then they leave And I would postulate back to you, what if you don't spend anything on training and they stay? That's far worse. So we train them up, we improve them. Yeah, maybe they leave. And when they go to the next company, they're going to say, why are you so great? Because I got a lot of training at my last company. And 15 people there now are applying for your next job because they don't get that there and they heard that they got it over here. It just is a competitive advantage in so many ways and can so benefit both you and the people working for you. That is how we get to the optimization of people.
Yeah, and the secret sauce is about the training piece, because that's the common rebuttal, right? If you don't train them and they stay, it's even worse.
Yeah.
If you're worried about training them really well and then they leave, you miss something else. Like, if you get this right, they're not going to want to leave. They're going to beg you to stay. They're going to say, look, what is it going to take? In some cases, if you get this really, really right, hey, I know the company's suffering right now. I could take a short-term pay cut. Like, that is the extent that we should be focused on developing our employees, because they know if they go anywhere else, they're not going to get the training. They're not going to get support. They're not going to get the culture, and they will never find this anywhere else. Build that company and continue to overtrain people, because they'll never leave you. That's my take on it. Maybe I'm a dreamer. I don't know. That's okay. I'm happy to live where I am. Anyway, question numero 5. Ooh, Spanish. Look at me go. Do our employees know how they...
Look at amigo. All right, go ahead. All right.
Can't win with this guy. But anyway, we have a 5th question. Do our employees know how the measures they use in their work fit into our organization's overall measures of improvement? Kind of seems like that second question. No, sorry. One of the questions we mentioned earlier about saying, are we measuring to just KPIs or towards our core values? I see this fitting in and kind of tying that together.
And it ties into the change management, continuous improvement kind of culture that we're trying to build, that good enough is not good enough, and that we're looking to improve things. And so we could have asked, so this is getting to what we're really trying to get to here, because it's not just the measures of the business. It is, how does my job not just effectuate the mission, but how does it touch those different measures and the ones that will continue get us to continue to grow? So this is trying to push KPIs and incentivizing employees to behave in the right ways, but tying it also to a cultural mindset of, we're going to act such that we can improve on everything that's here. And so it's a more complex question, because we're really plumbing the depths of understanding here around how human performance and KPIs and culture and change management, adaptability, and moving in a progression so that we can meet our grand vision. It's like 5 of the disciplines all come together in this one question. And while it's not apparent that it's that complex in the asking of it, the answers always are fertile ground for us to probe and plumb the depths of that, because this takes us into those discussions in those 5 different areas. And so that's why it's the last one, because it's a branching off point to some of the other disciplines.
Absolutely. So there you have it. You have the 5 questions you need to start building, rebuilding, improving, wherever you're at on that continuum, your culture, creating employees that want to stay in your company, that would do anything to stay in your company. That's the whole goal. I'm a dreamer. I believe that you can create an organization like this. We've both seen it done on a number of occasions.
We've done it.
Beautiful.
And remember that when you're thinking about these questions, that the power of them comes really when they're embedded in the rest of the questions on our business architecture diagnostic. So you take the whole thing, it takes less than 10 minutes, and then you'll have clarity as to where are the biggest holes and therefore the biggest potential for leverage in the 10 disciplines that your business is running, whether you know it or not, because you are in the world doing business, delivering value in a value exchange with other human beings, whether you think of your business as that or not. It is that, undeniably so. And so these 10 disciplines are at play. And now you know where your biggest opportunities for change are. If you take this diagnostic, you will have then clarity. And clarity is the gateway to harmony.
So there you go. There it is. It's on the screen. It's in the show notes, whatif.com. You get a copy of the 5 questions we asked today, along with the 45 other questions that you want to ask to make sure you know where your business is and get it to where you want it to go. Guess what we're talking about next week, Sean?
What are we talking about next week? Inspiration.
So we talked about our people, and then we kind of hinted at, oh, the people are the problem, right? Well, maybe it's you as the leader that might be the problem. So we're going to talk about inspiration.
We're looking in the mirror. We're looking in the mirror next week. I love inspiration. This is what some people call leadership. Leadership implies of one person over another. I'm going to lead those people. But leadership first starts with, especially if you're a solopreneur, but leadership first starts with the leader themselves. If they cannot inspire themselves to do something different, to take action, to do what must be done, to lead the charge, to carry the torch, if they're not willing to do that and they can't find that inside themselves, how can they expect to inspire anyone else?
Quite the tease. We'll see you there.